What's up guys, Penguin Overlord here, and welcome back to Ghost Recon Breakpoint. In today's video, I'm going to give my review of the AI teammates that were released in Breakpoint in the last title update. Now, I've said this multiple times throughout various discussion videos and streams that I've done, but basically when I heard the news that the AI teammates were going to come back, and whenever that subject came up in, say, chat for the from the streams, I've always said that I expected it to basically be the Wildlands team with minimal or no differences, because the way I saw it, Ubisoft had a lot of post-launch content that they were working on, and I didn't really expect any serious innovation in the AI teammates. So I wasn't horribly disappointed when I found out that these AI teammates are basically the same teammates as Wildlands, with a couple of differences. We'll talk about it, but fundamentally they are pretty much the same thing. So I wasn't horribly disappointed given that. I do understand though why some were not happy with how the AI teammates came out, because they expected something a little bit better, especially since it was basically a year since Ubisoft announced that the AI teammates would come back. They released it basically a year after that announcement, back in, I believe it was E3, when they announced that the AI teammates were coming back. So I can understand why some people would be disappointed, expecting something a little bit more out of them in terms of the squad commands, because these squad commands are basically the same as the ones in Ghost Recon Wildlands. You've got the go to, the regroup, the hold position, and cleared hot. Now, a lot of people were thinking when the cleared hot function was first announced that this would be something where they would just open fire from a certain position. Like if you ordered the AI teammates to go somewhere and then ordered them to, I
need you to sit in a new position.
Let's move them over here. There. So if we move them over here and hit cleared hot, they would just open fire from that position. But that's not really the case. This is basically just the open fire command from Wildlands, which is a little bit disappointing. It would have been cool to see like a hold position command and then fire from an open position. It would also be really cool if we could command our AI teammates individually, like say order Vasily, whatever his name is. Where is he? He's right over here. To have him move to like a hilltop where he could do Overwatch and just shoot enemies from a high position, and have some other guys come with me, like Fixit and Fury, to come with me as we fight in CQB. That would have been cool, but that's not the case, at least at this current time. So yeah, basically the AI teammates, when you tell them to open fire, they will, or cleared hot, they'll basically, as G Money Mozart so eloquently put it, run around like complete idiots and just start shooting things. And it's kind of amusing to see Vasily run around with a sniper rifle shooting people in CQB. Which brings me to the one basically big change that's come to the AI teammates compared to Wildlands, and that is the fact that you can customize their weapons, which is pretty cool. So when we go to the customize teammates section, so basically you go to customize outfit and go to customize teammates, you can basically pick whatever weapon you want for them to use, which was pretty cool, because that was one thing that a lot of people, myself included, wanted in Ghost Recon Wildlands, because some of the weapons that they were using were, at least in my opinion, kind of subpar so in that game. So it's pretty cool. You can basically give them whatever weapon you want. I don't think it makes a huge difference, since they all seem to perform similarly to each other. Like the sniper rifles will all perform similarly to each other, DMRs, submachine guns, light machine guns, assault rifles, etc. There's not really a huge amount of difference between all those weapons, like each individual weapon. A submachine gun will perform like a submachine gun, although I do think rate of fire is taken into account there. One of the things Ubisoft said about giving the AI teammates specific weapons is that they would engage enemies at distances according to a specific weapon. Like, for example, if you give an AI teammate a sniper rifle, they will shoot enemies at long range. And if you give a teammate a submachine gun, they'll shoot at close range. To put it politely, that feature is either non-functional or half-functional. It kind of depends as I go back and look at the gameplay, but I don't think this feature is very functional, because once you order your AI teammates to clear hot, they basically all kind of just rush at the enemy and shoot them at close range. Including if you give them a sniper rifle. which is kind of amusing to see them, like, shoot someone from, like, 20 meters point blank with a 50 caliber, well, 338 in this game, sniper rifle. But, yeah, that feature isn't currently working. Maybe it will in a future update, but as of this point, it does not. The second thing about giving the weapons is that I don't really recommend giving the AI teammates shotguns, or at least don't give them to Fix-It, because that's who I always gave the shotgun to. Because there's times when Fix-It will just not shoot people. Even though he's at close range, he could very easily shoot enemies with his shotgun, usually the Sega 12. He just doesn't do it. So I don't really recommend giving them shotguns at all. It's just not worth it. The weapons that I found working the best, in terms of if you want to like make them as combat effective as possible, are light machine guns and sniper rifles. Especially, I think light machine guns are more effective than the sniper rifles in the case of the AI teammates. Because they will just do a ton of damage, destroy enemies quickly, especially drones. They'll just be super effective. They can't really kill behemoth drones that well. They will do a significant amount of damage to it, but eventually they'll get blown up by the rockets. So I don't recommend just using your AI teammates to cheese the behemoth drone. It'll just take way too long, and it just won't die. I definitely recommend soloing them. I've done various guides on that, so yeah, that's a completely separate video. Anything else that I am thinking of? Oh, speaking of the AI teammates, Sync Shot's obviously back, and one thing that I do want to note about Sync Shot is that your AI teammates will basically one-shot the flying drones. They'll still fall to the ground and explode, so you're not going to get rid of them stealthily, but if you really hate dealing with drones in this game, the AI teammates will Sync Shot the flying drones and destroy them all in one hit, regardless of what weapon they have equipped. Even if they have the suppressed assault rifle equipped, because when they're doing the Sync Shot, they'll still one-shot them in one hit. It won't work that well with the ground drones, though, so Sync Shot does not kill the ground drones instantly, so you are going to have to fight them. They'll do a little bit more damage, but it won't kill them outright. So I think that concludes everything I wanted to talk about the AI teammates. To sum up, it's the Wildlands team. For better or for worse, it's the Wildlands team. So if that's a factor in you, let's say if you haven't purchased the game yet because the AI teammates weren't in the game, basically if you hated the Wildlands teammates, you're not going to get anything different. And if you love the Wildlands teammates, you're not going to get anything different. So, yeah, it's the Wildlands teammates, but you can customize the weapons and make them, and camo them. The one thing I will say about the weapons, though, the attachments are visual skins. They won't change weapon stats, although I do think extending the magazine helps. It does seem to have give your teammates a larger capacity, so they don't have to reload as often. But I think that concludes it. They're the Wildlands teammates, guys, for better or for worse. So, yeah, that's about it. So thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm Penguin Overlord, and I'll catch you all next time. Take care, guys.